Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, the Kryptonian Saiyan here, bringing you a review for One Piece, chapter 232. And gotta start off with saying this right here, man. This chapter, I was right. I was like, man, I'm getting all along Park feels, and that's exactly what happens. Luffy walks right into Bellamy's, I guess you could call it stronghold, and he's shouting. He's shouting, powered by friendship. And you can't tell me this in anything other than the power of friendship. Because Luffy's saying, they're my friends and you're picking on them. That was Luffy's whole thing. I mean, granted, they got, done dirty and everything. And you had the flashbacks, Luffy's thinking about Chopper looking at Cricket saying, oh, he's in sick, yada yada yada. Like, I get that. You have Luffy looking over their bodies. You have Luffy's message from Nami. You need to get done with this before we set sail. If we set sail any longer, you already know what's going to happen. The log's going to reset. If it's anything like before, Nami's going to mollywop his ass. So everything, the stage has been set, and like I said, Luffy's powered by friendship. This is a common shonen trope, so I don't really mind seeing this, but just how Luffy calls this dude out after being disrespected once again. But the difference is Luffy says, this time is different, and I thought that was pretty powerful. And a big part of the reason why I thought it was powerful is Luffy is doing what I told you guys earlier. You pick and you choose your battles, and in this case, that's exactly what happens. Luffy says this time is different, and it's because he's crossed someone that Luffy cares about. You can be, upfront and blunt and say, look, Luffy hasn't known this guy long enough to be a friend. But again, it's that shonen trope, friendship. You make a bond with somebody and you're just friends from that point on. So I'm okay with that. But Luffy, the way that he hits Bellamy, I will put this higher than what he did with Arlong. Arlong, it was more emotional. And because you had some information on what he had done to Nami, you knew, like, oh, shoot, this is getting real. Like, you knew it. Whereas with this, you don't have as big of a payoff, okay? It really comes down to how much you care about Cricket's character. I could care less about his character. I mean, he's right there with Gaimon for me. It's just like, you're okay. Or the guy that Captain Kuro cut up on Syrup Village, like the one that was attending to, what's the chick's name gave Usopp the ship? Kaya. So I could care less about that, okay? Same with seeing like the merry-go, in tatters last time around because they were going to fix it, So it's just like Cricket, you're a niche character. You're just meant to get them from A to B. So with that being said, Luffy's punch, watching Bellamy spring around so fast that Luffy's able to hit this dude and track his movements, it just shows you right away that Luffy's grown combat-wise. Because if you go back to the Syrup Village arc, and that's the reason why I brought up the whole thing with the merry-go in this chapter, post the last chapter, and pointing out like the attendant, because I'm seeing patterns from Kuro. Because Kuro, when he was moving so fast, he was actually attacking his men, and I feel like it's because it wasn't completely mastered. Whereas in this case, we have a devil fruit user. He's doing his thing. He's moving so fast that everyone else can't follow. But Luffy knocks this dude out, and he says, "You want to see me land a punch?" And that's when he just punches this dude in the back of the head and causes him to go face first into the ground. I don't think that this is over. It'd be too anticlimactic if that was the case. But Luffy in this chapter, just seeing how he was able to keep up with him at that point, it just shows that he has taken on some pretty powerful people. And that brings me into this. Some of you guys have told me, like, oh, bounties aren't like power levels in Dragon Ball. Don't look at it this way. And I'm taking you at your word for it. And then at the same time, I'm reading these chapters and I'm going, they're looking at bounties as a measure for how strong somebody is and how epic the feats that they have. Like 100 million berries. He had to have done something pretty savage. And that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at it and they're making some really good points. They're saying, like, well, hey, you have some pirates, they just print up the bounties of themselves in order to scare people, because people like you, they get terrified just looking because they go, oh my God, that's what his wanted poster is. So Bellamy, he has every right to feel like these guys are exaggerating. But the thing is when you just take a look at it, I would really feel like if this dude had the balls to come up and approach everyone alone with no help, that would be the first red flag. So once again, you have another character who is underestimating Luffy, which is also another shonen trope with a lot of the villains. A lot of the villains, particularly in modern day shonen, that's how they're taken down. They overestimate their abilities or they underestimate the person coming up to them. So overall, pretty good chapter. Like I said, it was pretty funny for me. I'm watching Luffy and it's just like every step he's taking, it's almost like that old song. I'm not gonna play it because I started, get the audio for this and I don't want to get the copyright strike, but it's like the I'll Be Missing You song. Like every step I take, every move I make, like I was hearing that when it's a Sting song, I believe, Sting and the Police. Puffy redid it with 112 and Faith Evans, but like I was hearing that in my head when I'm watching both versions, FYI. But I was hearing that in my head when I was reading the scene because it's just like Luffy, oh, that's so sweet. You guys are best friends. You're gonna like do bonfires and fist bumps and all that other whatever. But overall, pretty good chapter, guys. My chapter question for you guys is gonna be: how impressed were you with what Luffy did with that punch? How impressed? And if you had to rank Arlong's punch and then the punch with Bellamy, which one would you rank higher? Why? And what number would you give them 1 to 10? Hey, but as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I will greatly appreciate it. As always, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.